Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're uncovering how the SASB standard for sustainable home design is actually a powerful engine for competitive advantage. If you're in the home building industry or, investing in it, you might just think of sustainability metrics as a standard compliance exercise. But as we'll see by really digging into the data, designing for resource efficiency isn't just about protecting the environment. No, it's fundamentally about protecting and honestly expanding your profit margins. So, here's our game plan for today. We'll quickly walk through the resource efficiency opportunity, what it actually means to design for energy and water, how we measure green building success, why educating buyers drives demand, and finally, how all of this creates a real competitive advantage.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the resource efficiency opportunity.
You might be wondering, why does this actually matter beyond just checking an environmental box or meeting the basic building codes? Well, according to the SASB industry standard for home builders, residential buildings consume a massive amount of energy and water once people actually move in. What this means is that the decisions a builder makes during the design phase literally lock in that home's resource consumption for decades to come.
This comparison really brings the stakes to life. Traditional homes basically drain wallets, right? They create high energy dependence, whether that's pulling heavily from the electric grid or relying on on-site fuel combustion. But on the flip side, resource-efficient homes fundamentally lower the long-term cost of ownership. By integrating energy-saving materials and smart practices, builders actively decrease those costs through much lower utility bills. It's a massive selling point that, quite frankly, often goes completely underutilized.
Moving right along to Section 2, Designing for Energy and Water.
So, what does this actually look like in practice? It really comes down to key sustainable design strategies. The SASB's framework highlights things like incorporating energy-saving products, optimizing the whole design for efficient heating and cooling, and installing low-flow water fixtures. And listen, these aren't just trendy add-ons. They're mechanical interventions that significantly reduce a home's overall grid and water dependence. Smarter heating and cooling design alone fundamentally shrinks the energy footprint before the buyer even unboxes their coffee maker.
Just to be absolutely clear on the terminology here, let's quickly define a water fixture in this specific context, because the standard is very precise. We're talking about any device used for the distribution or consumption of water. So that's everything from your bathroom sink faucets and shower heads to toilets, urinals, and even outdoor irrigation controllers. Every single one of these is a tangible opportunity to increase efficiency.
The crucial takeaway here is that reducing resource consumption creates this beautiful, direct win-win. By installing these efficiency features, builders are helping to alleviate stress in water-scarce communities, which reduces overall environmental strain. But at the exact same time, they're slashing homeowner utility bills. That dual benefit is the absolute bedrock of the business case for sustainable design.
Okay, let's pivot to Section 3, Measuring Green Building Success.
What's really fascinating about this is how the SASB metrics explicitly require builders to track hard, quantifiable data. When diving into the design for resource efficiency topic, builders are expected to report the actual number of homes that obtained a certified residential energy efficiency rating, plus the average rating across those homes. On top of that, they track the percentage of installed water fixtures that meet a jurisdictional water efficiency standard. This totally shifts the conversation from vague, feel-good claims of going green to concrete, standardized, and comparable data.
And it goes beyond just individual fixtures or energy ratings. Builders are also tracking homes certified to comprehensive, third-party multi-attribute standards. The SASB standard specifically calls out rigorous programs like Environments for Living Certified Green, the ICC 700 National Green Building Standard, and LEED for Homes. These aren't rubber stamps. They judge the whole shebang, from energy and water conservation to material efficiency, indoor environmental quality, and even how well the homeowner is actually educated about using their new home systems.
Which brings us to Section 4, Educating Buyers Drives Demand.
Here's where we translate sustainability into a language every buyer understands: dollars and cents. This three-step playbook shows how successful builders do it. First, they conduct performance audits. Second, they project the energy and water costs and clearly map out the savings relative to a baseline traditional home. And third, they take those hard, validated numbers and integrate them directly into their sales and marketing. You aren't just selling a house anymore, you're selling a long-term financial asset with demonstrably lower operating costs. And guess what happens when you effectively communicate those long-term cost benefits? Home buyer awareness skyrockets.
The source material makes this explicitly clear. Home buyer awareness of energy and water efficiency creates a prime opportunity to increase target market demand. Simply put, when buyers realize they're going to save money on utilities every single month, demand for those specific resource-efficient homes absolutely goes up.
Let's wrap things up with Section 5, creating a competitive advantage. This breakdown starkly contrasts the risks of lagging behind evolving building codes against the massive opportunities of adoption. Look, if a builder ignores resource efficiency, they run the real risk of failing to get ROI on technology investments, or just producing less sustainable homes that fall behind their peers. But the opportunity side, that's where the magic happens. Successfully incorporating these designs offers the chance to capture target market demand, achieve actual sales price premiums, and carve out a strong market-leading advantage.
Ultimately, it boils down to this. Effectively applying these principles and educating homebuyers transforms sustainability directly into profitability and increased margins. By actively reducing energy dependence and utilizing energy-saving materials, a builder isn't just doing a solid for the planet. They are engineering a vastly superior product that commands a true premium in the market.
So I'll leave you with this provocative thought to chew on as you plan your future developments. Is your next project built just to meet today's basic codes, or is it designed for tomorrow's competitive advantage? The data, the metrics, and the shifting market demand all point in one clear direction. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope this deep dive into the SASB standards has given you a fresh, actionable perspective on the hidden ROI of sustainable home design.